Ay, oo nga pala, kalimutan ko na. Hello guys, this is the second episode of our podcast. Again, this is your host, JD from The Hustler's Edge. Talk to you soon.
So, one of the questions that we have is, what's the worst month you've experienced? Let's start off with Coach Dominic.
So my worst experience, I would say in 1 month, I would say I lost 20,000 US dollars. Overall, I've lost through my journey over 100,000 US dollars. So that's my journey, and I consider that as a tuition of getting to where I am right now. And I think for every trader who goes through the process, losing is part of trading. Don't try to get into the hype saying you always win. A lot of people go by the winning rate or how much of their win rate is. That's a false statistics, because I would consider myself, I'm making profit. I'm still profitable if my win rate is around 48%. So the win rate that people may say that I'm averaging 95% win rate, that's a false statistic. So for me, it's about how to manage your losses. That's the biggest thing. And again, trading is not about how much you win, it's how much you lose. If you're very good at managing your risk or managing your losses, that's basically the step forward to become a successful and profitable trader.
I think that's an interesting point when you say it's a tuition, treat it as a tuition, because you learn from your mistakes, right? But you have to accept the fact that every time that you trade, it's not always rainbows and butterflies, right? So I think that's a good perspective to have for each and every trader. So I want to know your thoughts, Coach X, on that question.
Actually, ako super agree ako dyan. Ngayon, one of the good things na sinabi ni Coach Dom kanina, he brought up a concept in trading, so onting technical tayo. It's called the risk to reward ratio. So what we mean by the risk to reward ratio is that if you make one trade, what is your possible risk, meaning how much are you going to lose if you lose, and how much are you going to profit if you profit. So basically yan yung sinabi ni Coach Dom na you can have a low win rate, but because you have a good risk to reward ratio, edi kahit mas madami yung losses mo, you're still profitable. So
Right,
siguro
yeah.
to answer that question din, one of yung siguro worst months ko was nung beginner ako. Kasi honestly, nag-University of YouTube ako. Yun. No formal training until maybe later on sa journey ko. Ngayon, yung in-enrollan ko kasi, meron siyang strategy na mas malaki yung potential loss mo kaysa sa potential reward mo in one trade.
Yeah.
At that time, wala akong alam about trading. So, ako naman parang, okay, I didn't ask why. So, nag-follow lang ako. And then, it was only later on, after I did some research and then may mga nasunugan ako, especially sa gold, na actually, parang hindi siya logical na magkaroon ng ganyan klaseng risk to reward ratio. So, it's like, I'm making a bet, and then my potential losses are bigger than what I'm standing to gain.
Yeah.
So that's why, and siguro yun yung naging answer sa akin. Okay, that's the reason why ang dami kong nawalang pera during that month, because parang walang logic sa akin kung bakit ganyan yung risk management. And I think probably that's one of the most important things that a trader should consider. If they have losses, and inevitably magkakaroon talaga, whether it's a paper loss or it's an actual loss, you will lose one way or another. The first question siguro I would ask is why you lost, kasi that's how you'll know on how to improve. So kunyari sa case ko at that time, I lost a lot kasi mas malaki yung risk ko kaysa sa potential reward. So siguro that's one. And another thing then is mental resilience. We have to ask ourselves, okay, if I lose, how am I going to take it? What's my backup plan? Ayun yung term na revenge trade. Parang ganyan, like nasa casino ka, magalit ako and whatever. Do I revenge trade? Do I don't know, do I hide yung mga ganyan?
Yes,
So,
yeah.
for me, yung it should be logical din. What is your reaction or your response? Bale, mas maganda response no kaysa sa reaction. Yung response to when you lose, what are you going to do?
Correct.
Siguro, those two things. Yan.
So you mentioned about risk and reward, no? So to the listeners out there, what would be the ideal risk and reward ratio?
Siguro for beginners, when you're a beginner kasi, you don't, I don't recommend thinking too much about yung profit tsaka losses. Kaya that's why, I think we all recommend na keep your job first.
Yeah.
So you don't really think about yung profit and losses. Get the skill first. So ang ginawa ko, and I think I would recommend this as a starter, just to practice your trading, equal yung risk and yung reward. So for example, you make a trade in Euro USD. You're not sure kung mananalo ka or matatalo ka, especially if you're a beginner. Meron ka lang speculation or probabilities na, like let's say I enter the setup, it's an 80% chance of winning setup. So there's a 20% chance na margin of error, diba? So the question here is, how much are you standing to lose and how much are you standing to win in the event na it goes whatever direction? So let's say meron akong trade, it will lose, for example lang, $20 if I lose, it will win $20 if I win. So parang at least na-even out siya kahit paano. Now that is for practice if you're a beginner. But I would recommend na as you go along, try to increase yung potential reward. So that will be when you study more techniques, mag-practice ka pa, and you will be able to find setups na mas maganda yung potential reward and then maliit yung risk. So that's what we go with yung concept na minimize your risk, maximize your rewards.
Okay. So basically, it's just subjective, no? Depends on the person.
Depends on the
Right.
person. So may mga iba na okay naman sa we call it 1:1 na risk to reward. May mga iba gusto nila 1:2. I'm actually comfortable with 1:2. May mga iba 1:8. Ganyan. For me lang, it just doesn't make sense na mas malaki yung risk mo kaysa
Correct.
sa reward. That one for me walang sense.
Doesn't make sense talaga. Yeah.
Ayan.
So ako, I'm curious about hearing Coach Jericho's answer din eh.
Oo, si order flow trader.
So, worst month siguro, hindi ko na mabilang kasi sa dami. Simula nag-start ako mag-trade up until today, may mga losing months pa rin naman talaga. So, hindi talaga mawawala. So, hindi ko, ang dami talaga. Pero siguro, the most memorable month na talagang losing month was when I was just starting. Maliit lang yung natalo, around $1,000. Pero kasi at that time, I was still studying.
That's a
college.
huge amount.
So that amount was part of the tuition, part of the
Correct,
monthly
yeah.
budget, and I had to tell my parents na I lost it, and I have to explain how I lost it.
So how did they take it?
No, it wasn't that good. so just imagine, siguro that's one of the worst things. Pero that was when I was starting. Up until now, I'm still trading. So it's really not about how much. Siguro for me yung when I was starting, it's all about the money. Gusto kong kumita ng malaki. That's why I'm always wanna risk more and more and more. But eventually, parang you get mature. Tapos yung the way you trade nagiging mature na rin. And so it's really not about the money anymore. There are times na kahit winning month siya for me, pero there are times na yung mga trades ko, I wasn't following my rules. Mas masakit sa puso yon para sa akin
Yeah.
right now compared dun sa magkano yung napanalunan or natalo. Kasi for me, it's really about yung consistency na eh.
Correct.
So if I'm consistent, I am parang confident that next month I will also win. Pero kapag may mga times na I'm losing because of my own fault, mas masakit 'yan. I would say kapag may mga ganong months, yun yung mga talagang worst month for me.
So actually, Coach Jericho, I can relate din. Kasi when I first started out sa pag-trade ko, just so you know, guys, mentor ko rin si Coach Tom, right? So at first, I was so blinded by, making a lot of money. Pero as soon as I learned how to read market structure, how to enter, how to exit, how to handle risks, no, nag-mature din ako, right? It took a while. At first, I don't follow my rules. Kahit pinapagalitan na ako ni Coach Dom, I still don't follow. Pero later down the road, I think you need to have a journal and stick with your trading plan no matter what. Kasi that's how you build the confidence din eh. Lalo na if you lose a trade, like, again, it's a game of probabilities, right? So if you followed everything according to your plan and then you lose, that's okay, right? As long as you follow that. So I do agree with having a trading plan, no? And then masakit matalo, to be honest. It's part of human nature is you wanna, you want to recover.
See, you judge yourself, di ba? You judge
Exactly. So, yeah. Okay.
Okay, interesting actually nabanggit mo about rules. Kasi meron din akong nabasang article actually na yung following of a certain rules is pretty much the same as following a routine. So for example, mag-workout ka regularly, maybe a short workout ka, you'll do a short workout every day. So kunyari, 15 to 30 minute workout. Pero the moment na once or twice na break mo yung routine, ang hirap bumalik.
Agree.
So,
Yeah.
In trading, so nirelate ko sa trading yung article na yun, no? If you have a certain set of rules, like for example, kailangan trending market lang, you only enter here, you only enter at these conditions, the moment that you break it just once, you'll have not really have a hard time, no? Pero there will be some difficulty following your rules the next time around. And mas lalo pa kaya if twice or thrice. And yung nabasa kong article, ang sinabi niya dyan is, it's because the brain is parang wired sana to have a routine. Pero the moment na break mo yung routine mo, you're actually delivering a message saying na, okay na mag-break ng routine, maybe there's a new one. So parang ang nangyari dyan is, that's why nire-recommend talaga, we have to be robotic in following the rules because otherwise, yung brain yun magte-take over na. And it will tell us na, okay, sige, we can break pala eh. Parang ganyan.
I completely agree with you, Coach Xander, about yung sinasabi mo tungkol, and that really relates to discipline. Kasi as traders, we want to see, like sinasabi mo, we need to have a plan, just like JD said, and Coach, you already said the same thing. It's all about the discipline. We do have trading plan, right? It's good to have a trading plan, but I think human nature, we tend to break it.
Whether we follow it or not, yun yung problem.
Yeah. So that's why it's really important to really be disciplined. To go, if you do have a losing trade, you have to have the discipline to go over your trading or your trades, your past trades, to see what did you do wrong. Did you comply with your trading plan, or do you deviate from your trading plan? Yun ang importante. And you have to be really transparent to yourself, not to anyone else except yourself.
Yeah. So I think one of the things then that a lot of people have a hard time accepting siguro is, okay, I followed my trading plan religiously, so nagkaka-losing streak pa rin ako. I think that's one of the things na people find it hard to accept kasi I followed my trading plan for this month. Okay naman siya. Pero this month, bakit puro losing streak? I followed my plan. So, ayun. I mean, how would you answer that kind of question siguro?
Well,
someone who says that.
Exactly. That's a good point. But you know what? Again, the market is what? It's well, they say it's random, but in reality, it's not random. It's manipulated. Kahit anong market tinitrade mo. It can be crypto, futures, it's manipulated. So you have to accept the fact that it's not 100%, should I say random? If you do follow your plan and you did it right, don't knock yourself so hard kasi there's that X factor that you have no control over.
Yes. Actually, one of the things that I noticed sa market, ilang years din nagte-trade, even though manipulated siya, I would say definitely yun, no? Kasi may mga big players that they come in and talagang minamove na the market in a certain way, they still do follow a certain pattern kahit papano. And usually, if we look at yung parang market, siguro we call it market psychology, yung ganyan, how they behave using data, may mga patterns kang ma-extract dyan kahit papano. And I think for my own ano din, no, is if we know which market conditions our trading plan works best, it would be parang favorable to extract the best setups from that market condition. And then when the market condition shifts, like kunyari, nagpapahinga yung big players naman. That's why we have yung mga ganyan market, no? If your strategy or plan doesn't work well in those conditions, stay out muna.
Yep.
Parang ganyan.
Like they said, the best position is a sitting position or no position.
So, what's the hard truth that took a long time for you guys to accept? So, we'll start off with Coach X.
Actually, sobrang daming hard truths and ayun, that I needed to accept. Siguro, yung pinaka-hardest truth that I needed to accept was that in my second year siguro ng trading is I needed to accept na hindi talaga ako yayaman dito. Not right now, not with what I am right now. Kasi ang tinuruan sa akin kasi is okay, you have a strategy here, I will apply it. So, yung problem kasi is I wasn't taught anything other than the strategy. So, I was never taught market context. So, yung conditions, ganyan lahat, wala. I'm just, kunyari, blindly following a signal.
Yeah.
Which, siguro ideally okay naman sana yan. Kasi backtested naman siya. So, I guess tama in an ideal world. Pero like napag-usapan namin ni Coach Rom kanina, there are certain times na manipulated talaga yung market. And when it's manipulated, there are certain patterns talaga that, kunyari yung mga big players, they follow. And hindi ko alam yan. Kasi, syempre, ano ba yung tinuruan lang sa akin sa second year ko? Yan nga lang, ang after nagturo sa akin yan, nagre-rinse and repeat lang ako. So if you think about it, ganito yung progression ko. First year, puro University of YouTube. And then somewhere siguro, sa may second year of trading, nag-enroll ako in a course. And then, eto tinuruan sa akin. So, nung nagtanong din ako sa mentor na bakit natalo ako dito, hindi talaga masagot-sagot. Trust the process daw. So, ako parang, okay, I'll trust the process. Pero parang hindi pa rin eh. Kasi nahirapan ako mag-take ng bagay at face value. I need to have a solid and logical answer kung bakit natatalo.
Correct, yeah.
Hindi pwede kasi sa akin yung ganyan talaga. Trust mo lang yung process. So, that's where I found out pala na okay, madami pa akong kakainin na bigas. In other words, no, I need to study more, I need to practice more. There's so many things na I don't know about trading during that second year. So, in my mind, parang, crap, I need to postpone yung dreams ko of buying, kunyari, buying my own condo or, yung buying gold, yung mga ganyang bagay, investing in gold na malaki, yung ganyan. So, siguro yan yung hardest truth na it was sold to me kasi yung idea na if I follow this, siguro give it one year, ganyan, kaka-profit na ako na madami. So, that was the hardest truth for me.
Okay, the next question is a loaded one. So,
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you're up to date. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to watch the next episode. Hey. Fast man.